Hey, we're here with Daniel Medrano and Ron Aguiano. They're holding up my pedestal here, but we're going to do a little bit of cash flow analysis here. All right, one of the things that we always talk about is cash flow, and we draw two rectangular boxes, okay, and then we cut them in half. This is your income, and this is your expenses. These are your assets. These are your liabilities. Now, this is a financial statement, okay? We'll just do FS for that. And then up here is a special little box called passive income, or PI. And then this is earned income, EI. Now, I'm going to give you the cash flow patterns of the poor. The poor, they make a paycheck, and then they pay the rent or mortgage, they put food on the table, clothes on their back, and any extra money that they have, they actually spend it, they blow it, and it goes right out the door. So this is the cash flow pattern of the poor. And they're about 10 to 15% of our population. I use 10% for simplicity. Now, the middle class is their cash flow pattern, is that they make a little bit bigger check than the poor, but they're no different. They need to put food on the table, clothes on their back, and a roof over their head. They got daycare, private schools. What they do is they buy a liability, like a Harley Davidson, a boat, or an RV, and they use it one time, and they park it, and they're paying storage, insurance, and making those monthly payments. Any extra money goes right out the door. So this is the cash flow pattern of the middle class. Okay. Now, they represent about 85% of our population. So now, if we kind of look at cash flow quadrant, I'll just put this over to the side, and that is going to be, this is the E quadrant. Well, let me do a little bit bigger. Okay. The E quadrant for employee, S is for self-employed, and you got B for big business, and I for investor. Okay, 95% of Americans are trapped here. The 5% are over here. So the wealthy are actually playing in the B and the I quadrants, big business and the investor quadrant. Now, 1% of them actually get that wealth handed down from them from the previous generations. Now, the 4% actually earn it, and they're doing this. This is their cash flow pattern. Is they start off just like everybody else in the poor and the middle class, but what they do different, they slightly shift over, and what they do is this is their cash flow pattern. They actually go and buy an asset, and that asset feeds right back into their passive income. And this is income you do one time. You do the work one time, and you get paid over and over and over again. This is the best type of income to work for in your life. Earned income, if you don't go to work, that income stops. Now, every spare moment that I have, every spare dollar that I have, I spend in trying to build passive income. Now, we just mentioned this is the cash flow pattern of the rich, but like they do something even better. What they do is that cash flow kicks back into their, they buy the asset, kicks back into their passive income, and it goes right back into their total income. And they do it over and over and over and over again. And they never stop. And this is the cash flow pattern of the rich. Okay. Now, there's a thing called the hamster wheel, right? You got to exit the rat race, the hamster wheel. The condition for you to exit the rat race or the hamster wheel is whenever your passive income equals to your expenses. Okay. When those two are equal, that's the day you can decide that you can, if you want to go to work or not. Not your earned income. Okay. This earned income can be kicked out from underneath you for whatever reason, your health. They lay you off, or you just don't want to work anymore. So when these two are equal to each other, that's when you're financially independent. So now let's look at the other thing I'm going to talk about is building the three mechanics to wealth. Okay, so I'll write this off. So anything you do in life, everybody needs to get a paycheck to go around the hamster wheel, right? But anything other than your paycheck, you need to be asking yourself this question. The three mechanics to wealth are one, passive income, which I just talked about, and then leverage, and then building equity. Okay, and you need to ask yourself a very serious question. Anything that you're doing in addition to your paycheck, make sure that it has these three components to building wealth. Okay, one, passive income. This is the work you do one time. You get paid over and over and over again. If your job or whatever you're doing, investment is not giving you that, then you need to put a big X by it. Now, the other thing is leverage. If your job or your investment is not allowing you to get paid on the efforts of other people, J. Paul Getty says, I'd rather have 1% effort of 100 people, okay, instead of 100% of my own. So if you got to ask yourself, if you don't have leverage, then you got to put another X by there. Then equity is building, when you work for somebody in the E quadrant, you're building equity in that owner. So the question you must ask yourself is that the day you leave that company, do you still own stock in that company? And if the answer is no, you got to put another X. So if you don't get 3 check marks, you're not building wealth, okay? You're building wealth for somebody else. So I implore you to look at everything that you do and measure this test. I mean, put that to this test and see if it measures up and has the 3 mechanics of wealth. Now,